Alright, hi everyone. So, I'm looking at this Dragon Ball Super card game ruling question that people are coming up with. There's been a lot of rules, and I think in most cases there are just things in the rule book that tend to get lost in translation because the rule book was written by Bandai, which is a Japanese company. And if you know any Japanese, you're very familiar with the fact that their present and future tenses are exactly the same. So their structure, that's just one example of how their language is different from ours. Their structure of their sentences is vastly different from the structure of the Anglo-Saxon sentences, English. English sentence structure has way more is way more open to interpretation of words, right, than the Japanese structure of their sentences, okay? So how that's relevant here, I think when Bandai wrote the rule that we're about to talk about, they didn't consider how an American would view that rule in any other way besides how they viewed it, right? They had one, like, beeline mentality. This is what I mean when I say these words I'm telling you right now. And it can't be interpreted any other way, as far as I know, in my language. Well, in America, in English in general, it can, right? And we see this a lot. We see this a lot, like the Black Frieza. Let me just talk about Black Frieza for a split second. It says, pick 2 cards from your opponent's hand and play them. So some judge said, oh, well, they're being played in their owner's playing area. So I'm paying 6 energy to play your hand for you on my turn? That doesn't sound like a win condition, bro. It doesn't. And it definitely doesn't sound like a promo card, right? So I don't think that's what they meant. Right? And that's just one example of how when you read something in English versus reading it in Japanese, there's a translation issue that you maybe screwed up the whole way that the card works because your American brain is just like not understanding what was really intended to be going on with that card interaction, okay? One example. This is another example I think is just creeping right back in there doing the same thing as Black Frieza. So we're going to talk about a few screenshots that this guy actually added, and I'm going to tell you all the different ways I believe that this can be interpreted, and then I'm going to use process of elimination to cut out certain ways that this might be interpreted to kind of add some more clarity on what is actually happening here. And I have narrowed it down to 1, possibly 2 answers of how this actually works. And there are 5 screenshots, so let's get into it. The first thing is a red Vegito leader card that has a permanent skill that says each Son Goku and Vegeta in all of your areas gain red, blue, and green colors. So what this card is doing is it's saying, I don't care what else is going on. If you're a Son Goku, I don't care what color you are, I'm granting you 3 additional colors. That's all it's doing. Same with Vegeta, right? Next thing on this list is actually Son Goku Strength of Legends, and what this is doing is it says activate main if you have at least 1 mono red, 1 mono blue, 1 mono green, and 1 mono yellow card in your drop area, and you have 4 or more energy in play, play this card from your hand. And it's a 9-drop. So it's a big if, but people are saying, oh, well, technically, they're all every color in every zone, so there you go. I'm just going to say it's mono blue, even though it's clearly a yellow Vegeta. Oh, now it's a blue Vegeta because of Vegito effect. So now it's a blue. No, now it's mono blue, though. No, it's not. No, it was never mono blue. It was never mono blue. You opened that card out of a booster pack, it was fucking yellow, bro. It's mono yellow, bro. And we'll get to the punchline of this whole video, and you'll learn what I just said is the answer. It's mono yellow, bro, because you opened it out of the pack, and that's the color on the card, all right? So in this case, the argument is, oh, I can take my 4 yellow Vegetas in my drop area, provided I'm using Vegito as my leader to give those yellow Vegetas all those other color types, and I could just activate this for 4. No, you can't. No, you can't. The only thing you can do is tap your 4 yellow Vegetas for a red, a blue, a green, and a yellow to actually activate main once per turn. On this last effect, switch this card to active mode and it gains critical. You can do that. You can tap 4 yellow Vegetas and say, rainbow color mana, critical active mode. Let's go. You can do that. Oh, and double strike and dual attack. Yeah, sure, whatever. You can do that. Totally fine. So great in Vegito because you can totally do that. However, you still have to have the monocolors in your drop. the monocolors, which, as you'll find out, are the colors printed on the card, and that's it. All right, until Bandai says otherwise, and that's it. All right, so pay attention to what's coming up next, and I will build into how that is a fact. Like 99% sure this is what Bandai meant in English. All right, we'll get to that point, but just keep that in the back of your mind that whatever color the card is, that's the color mono or multi that it actually is in all stages of every game ever. Keep that in the back of your mind. We're going to go to the next card. By the way, this is a black Goku, in case anyone's curious. But since he is a Sun Goku, he also gets red, blue, and green from the Vegito leader. So he is a, keep this in the back of your mind, he is a mono black Sun Goku who has gained red, blue, and green colors. All right? Mono black Sun Goku gained red, blue, green colors. Right? Moving on. Next card, SS4 Broly, Great Destroyer. It is a mono red Broly card. Okay? Great. Fine. Whatever. What is it doing that interacts so weirdly with all these other cards? It says activate main, choose one mono red Saiyan card with an original power of 35,000 in your battle area and place it in its owner's drop area. Okay? After you've activated that, after you've chosen your mono red Saiyan card with 35,000 power, right? Exactly 35,000 power from your battle area. And after you've dropped that card you've chosen, which is a mono red 35k power Saiyan, once you've done that, you can activate this effect. What's the effect? Play this card from your hand, the Broly card. Play this guy from your hand, then choose up to one of your mono red leader cards, and it gets an additional 10,000 power until the start of your next turn. Okay, so what we're trying to figure out is, can we use this Broly with that Goku? And can we target our Vegito leader? Okay, so let's answer that question in reverse. Can we target the Vegito leader? Well, the Vegito leader is a mono red leader card. So yes, we can target the Vegito leader with SS4 Broly. Not a question. Fine. We could totally boost his power by 10,000 until the start of the next turn, which would totally be OP and makes Vegito even stronger. That's fine. We could totally do that. Okay. What else is on this card that's questionable? The activate main. The cost to actually give the leader card the 10,000 power boost. The cost to do that is this activate main, choose one mono red 35k power Saiyan card in your battle area. The question becomes, can you target the boy Son Goku's Strength of Legends because he's inherited red, blue, and green colors? That's the question. That is one of the really important questions that needs to be answered. And I'll tell you right now, you don't have to ask Bandai. The answer is no. This is never, ever going to be a mono red Saiyan card. Why is that? Because it came out of the pack with a black set symbol. It is a mono black Saiyan card. Look at this guy. The card is black. The card is black and no other colors. This is a black Goku. It says color black in the middle of the screenshot. Color black. No other colors there, meaning when you open it out of your pack and you put it in your hand for the first time and you stare at it with your own eyeballs, it's a mono black Saiyan card, bro. It's not a mono red Saiyan card. And Vegito is not making it mono red. He's not. He's saying, hey, that's a cool mono black Son Goku you have there. I'm going to grant it 3 additional colors, red, blue, and green. That's what I'm going to do, and that's all it says, bro. And there's no errata for Vegito yet. So you can't just add words to the effect, man. You can't add words like mono to this effect. It's nowhere in the skill, right? That's all it's doing is adding red, blue, and green to that card. It's not adding mono red to it, bro. That's totally different. You might think it's not, but it really is. It really is not the same thing at all. When you're adding 3 colors to a card, you're not making it a multicolor card. Just like, I would argue, Bandai hasn't come out and said it yet, I would argue, just like it's not changing the monocolor status. If it's not changing the multicolor, why on earth would it be changing the monocolor? You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They're going to give you the same answer, which is why I'm telling you, keep that thought in the back of your head. When you pull that card out of the pack, what color is it, bro? Because that's the monocolor or the multicolor that it's always going to be. always going to be every single time anyone asks you, hey, what color's the card? What color was it when you opened it? That's what it is. Always and forever. Okay? Argue with that if you want. We're not done with the video. Keep that in the back of your head. And then when we're done, we're going to ask Bandai for a real answer. I'm going to bet you that it's the answer that I give you. Keep it in the back of your head. That Goku is always a mono black Goku. Always. Mono black Son Goku. So, it will never be a mono red Son Goku. So, Broly will never be able to choose it for this effect. You can't do that. You can't do that. And until Bandai says otherwise, I would advise you to not even try to do this. It would be wasting so many judges' time. They're going to think about this way too much and give you the wrong answer, I guarantee. I've heard so many wrong answers from judges already on this. This is a translation issue with how the cards work and what's the difference between mono and not mono and all this shit. This is just a translation issue that doesn't even arise in Japan because they don't ask the same questions we do. They're not viewing the words in the same light, in the same context as we are. These are not perfect translations. They're not. And when we get to the rulebook, you'll see how that really shines its ugly head at you. All right? And why I would argue this is the way it actually is. This is always a mono red, as is for Broly. That card is always a mono black Son Goku Ultimate Instinct. Always. Always. It's always a mono red leader card right here. Mono red. Okay? Always. Always. But you might be still arguing, oh, no. It can't always be that. The game effects change stuff. Yeah, we'll get there. Keep it in the back of your head. Always. Always mono black Goku. Always mono red Broly. We're going to get to this part. Q&A. I wanted to do this last, but because it's in this order in the screenshots, we'll just do it now, and we'll come back to it. So read this. This is from Bandai on their website. And the original poster of this article included it. How convenient. How convenient that everything I need to prove how this works was just included in all the screenshots. Well done. Well done. Nice research. Original poster. Question. Does this leader's ability make my cards count as multicolor cards for card effects? They're asking about Vegito leader. Does Vegito leader ability make my cards count as multicolor cards for card effects? That's the question. You've all been asking it. Answer from Bandai. No, it does not. A multicolor card must be printed with at least 2 colors. Let me read that again. No, it does not. A multicolor card must be printed with at least 2 colors. Printed must be printed. Bandai, when they were asked this question, they, in their Japanese brains, assumed you meant what color is the card in the pack, so that's the rule we're going with in the book. Question and answers. This is what we mean when we write our words to you. So when you're getting a Japanese rulebook, in Japanese, they're saying what's printed on the card is the multi or mono color of the card. Just like I said. Now, they didn't out and out in this particular screenshot say anything about monocolor, so don't think I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just saying it's most likely the case that their answer for the monocolor equivalent to this question is the same as their answer for the multicolor question. They said no, because the multicolor card must be printed with at least 2 colors. That means you take it out of the pack, you look at it with your own eyeballs, and you see what colors are in the bottom right corner where the set symbol is, and if it's more than 1 color, then it's multicolor. If it's a solid color, then it's a monocolor, whatever that color happens to be. That's how the game works, and that's all the Japanese rule book cares about. I'm telling you, Bandai just wrote it right here. They just basically outed themselves on how this works, so if you ask them how monocolor whatever works, they're going to give you a copy-paste of this particular answer right here. Right here. They're going to say, what color was the card when you opened the pack? And you're going to say it was a mono black Goku. And they're going to be like, there you go. It's not multicolor. It's never mono red. It's going to be always and forever mono black Son Goku. It's not going to count for that Broly. It's just not. It's not. Stop wasting my time with these dumb-ass English questions. Alright? Going back to my Japanese language now, and I'm going to continue writing a Japanese rule book that you're going to poorly translate over and over and over again. And we're always going to get questions like this. So always, if you're playing this game, always keep an open mind that any words you read in any rule book are actually probably going to be, in some cases, a translation issue where the Japanese rule book did not really mean what you thought it meant in English. And this is just another example of that. This is a screenshot in front of you of the English translated Japanese Bandai official Dragon Ball Super rules manual. That's what it is. That's what it is. And just to prove that that's what it is, we're going to actually go to the real rules manual, and I'll show you the rule because this is already cut off on the edge anyway. And we're going to go to official rule manual that says new, which means they've updated it recently. And I believe it was updated 9/9/2020, so this month. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago it was updated. So don't start saying, oh, well, they just haven't thought about that yet. Bro, they thought about it already. It's already in the rule book. There's no erratas coming out, so they don't care because they've not been asked this question. And like I said, their Japanese brains don't actually think the same way your English brains do, so they would have never even thought that this was an issue in their rule book. It works totally fine. All right? But in the English rule book, oh, well, it could be this. Oh, well, it could be this. It could be that. It could be that. All right? Well, it's not. It's only one of those things. And you have to actually ask Bandai what they meant. And I'm just going to give you what I think they meant based on the evidence that I see. So we're going to go to Rule 2-4-1-2-1-1 right here. And we're going to go to Rule 2-4-1-3, which again were included in that screenshot for my convenience. So those are the official updated rules right there, and I'm going to read them to you. This long-ass ugly one, 2-4-1-2-1-1, unless otherwise specified, cards that are granted additional colors by skills are not treated as multicolor cards. That gives you the Vegito answer. That gives you the Vegito answer. You're not making a multicolor card. Your yellow Goku's always a yellow Goku. It's not a multicolor Goku now because of Vegito. That's just not how Vegito works because it doesn't specify. He doesn't specify that he's giving you multicolor attributes on your card. He just specifies that he's granting 3 additional colors, which literally this line right here verbatim says that it does not count. Okay? Right? He's granting you additional colors. He's a skill. Is not treated as a multicolor card. Period. Says right there. Okay? No dispute on that anymore, I think, which like I said earlier, so that's good. But this is the hot button issue right here, and it's in red. So they know that people have questioned this, and I still think they don't understand the question that we have. Their little Japanese brains don't get it. We translate our question to their language, and they're like, this is a dumb question. I'm just going to highlight the rules manual in red so they can see it again, and maybe they'll stop asking. No, we still have the same question, because you used the word have in the middle of that sentence, and I can think at least of 2 different ways I could use that in that sentence in English. You used the word have in the middle of that sentence, bro. Think about that for a second before we continue. I'm going to read it to you. Look at that word have right there in English. Turn your English brain on. Rule 2-4-1-3. Some card text refers to monocolor cards. Monocolor cards only have the specified color and no others. That's all I have to read. That's all I have to read. The quotes are basically saying the possible colors are mono red, blue, green, yellow, and mono black. Okay? All I have to tell you is right here where it says monocolor cards only have the specified color and no others. Well, what could that possibly mean other than what you think it means? Let me explain. This could mean 2 actual different things. When I say monocolor card, am I saying monocolor in-game effect battle card, or am I saying monocolor card? Because it looks to me like I'm saying monocolor card. What was the card color when you pulled it out of the pack? Oh, it was a black Son Goku? Okay, well, it only has the specified black color in that case, and no others. Always and forever. Alright? Because that's what it was when it came out of the pack. It says right here, monocolor cards only have the specified color and no others. So you can read this in 2 different ways. I'm telling you, monocolor cards is not the same as monocolor in-game battle card. It's not the same. It's not the same. If it was, it would definitely specify here One or the other. It's not specifying. So that to me is a red flag that tells me that in Japanese, the sentence does not translate very well, and they're not confused at all. They know what their monocolor cards are in their game, in their rulebook, so they don't have the same question we do. We're thinking that this is referring to the in-game battle cards current color wheel. That's what we think it means. But that's not what the rule book says. You're adding words to the rule. You're adding words to the rule. Read the rule with just the words on the screen. Mono color cards only have the specified color. Mono color cards. Anything can be a card in a card game. A card is not necessarily an active battle card, right? In this game, it's not necessarily an energy. It's just a card. It's a card. What color was it when it was opened out of the pack? That's the color it is now. That's what this is saying. I'm telling you, this is how I feel that it meant to be translated from Bandai. And if you ask them for more clarity, I'm telling you, this is the answer they're going to give you. Read the red text again. Don't add any extra words to it. Don't add a single extra word to it, and you have your answer. It's a monocolor card. It's not a monocolor in-game battle card. It's nothing like that, dude. Don't add words. Don't add any words. Don't add any words to the sentence, and it works perfectly fine. Everyone in English is saying, oh, this means that my in-game played mono black Goku actually has a red color added to him by Vegito, so maybe, just maybe, he qualifies, but then, oh, he can't be he can't be multiple colors because then he loses mono status. People are saying this. People are saying it says right here, and no others at the end. So what they're thinking is that if I took a mono black Goku, for example, let's just go with the Goku in the example. If I took this card and I said, oh, Vegito effect, now it's red, blue, and green. Now it's red, blue, and green because Vegito effect, right? So then let's look at the rules at the current moment in the game. We're in the game. We have the Black Sun Goku out. We have the Vegito leader skill effect permanently in play. Black Sun Goku is always going to be also granted 3 different colors. So it's a Black Sun Goku that also is granted the red, blue, and green colors. So let's check the rules manual before we make our next play, right? This is the American brain. This is the English brain in general, okay? English brain in general, okay? Let's check the rules. Okay, my Black Sun Goku, which now also is red, blue, and green. Okay, so is it a monocolor card? Yes or no? It's a yes or no question. It's a yes or no question. Is it a monocolor card? That is the hardest question to answer with this limited description of this rule. Because in English, it does not translate very well. Like I said, it has 2 meanings. Is it the card, the physical card outside of the game, or is it the in-game battle card that's currently in this match with the Vegito leader? Which one is it? Because you have to have that answer before you can get the rest of the answer. You have to know what the actual color card in this rules is referring to before you can have the answer. And it says have. So does it have the paint on the card, or does it have a special object in the game from the Vegito leader that's giving it these virtual colors until the end of game? It's one or the other, right? It's one or the other. It's not necessarily always both. It's one or the other. You got to decide. You got to decide. And that's when I go back and I say, read the rule again. Don't add any extra words to it. What is it saying? It's saying card. It's not saying battle card. It's saying card. Okay? What does it have on the card? What's on the card? Look at the card. Forget about your Vegito leader. Look at the card. What does it have? It's a card. It's outside of the game right now. It's in a pack that you just opened. What color is it? And people are saying, okay, yeah, I get it, but we can change the monocolor status in the game. I'm arguing that you can't yet. I'm arguing that there's no skill in the game that allows you to do that yet. I'm arguing that even though it's built into the game that it could possibly change in the future, I'm arguing that A, Vegito hasn't gotten an errata and definitely does not qualify for this rule 211, so therefore it also isn't really changing the mono status of the card, right? I'm arguing that it's not granting a monocolor of any of those 3. So I had a judge actually come up to me and say, people are just saying that I could take my mono black Goku and throw a Vegito leader at him, and now, if I wanted to, I could say, oh, well, he's a mono red Goku. Oh, well, now he's not a mono red, he's a mono blue. Oh, well, now he's a mono green Goku, right? Because those are the colors I can switch between. No, You're adding words to the Vegito effect. The Vegito effect doesn't say anything about mono. It doesn't say anything about mono, bro. It's just granting 3 additional colors. You can't add words. Read the effect. You can't add words to it. You can't. All right. It's not adding mono red. It's not. So this effect right here, where the Son Goku says, if you have at least 1 mono red, 1 mono blue, 1 mono green, 1 mono yellow card in your drop area, dude, do you or not? Card. Do you or not? Card. Not battle card. Not fucking whatever. Card. Card. Mono red, mono blue, mono green, mono yellow. Do you have it? When you opened it out of the pack, what color was it? Oh, it was those colors? You're good. Oh, it wasn't? Oh, it was 4 yellow Vegetas. Oh, and you're just saying that now it's a mono red. Just saying that it's a mono red Vegeta, and then now it's a mono blue Vegeta, and that one over there, that's a mono green Vegeta, and that other one, totally not even gonna say any other colors, mono yellow Vegeta, like he came out of the pack. So I got 1 pack ready mono yellow Vegeta, and the 3 other copies of the playset. Oh, it's a mono red. Oh, it's a mono blue. Oh, it's a mono green. Oh, look at that, bro! I got all 4. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't. You don't. You don't. You don't, dude. Ask Bandai. Don't argue until you get an answer from them. Don't take my word from it. You should. Don't take my word for it. You should. You should. Let's be honest. Don't take my word for it. But you really should, because I'm right. But listen, don't take my word for it. Mono, 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 mono. 4 different colors. Do you have them? Are they physically painted on the card in that hue? Are they? Yes or no? Yes? You're good. No? You're cheating. You're cheating. You're cheating. Stop cheating. Stop cheating. Turn your Japanese brain on for just a second. Be a cultured individual for a split second and understand that it's possible that in Japan they might not even consider this as even a debate, right? Because they know what they're talking about in their language, right? Okay, so maybe, just maybe, consider that it didn't translate well. Maybe you're adding words to it. Maybe consider that your brain is just mentally throwing in words that don't exist. Like the fact that it says card and not battle card, for example. That's just one example. It says card, bro. Any card. Dude, card. Card. Right? Rule effect. Rule manual. Card. Oh, what a coincidence. Every time it's using the word mono, it's just using the word card after it. It's not caring what type of card it is because it's referring to the card as it came out of the pack, bro. It just is. It's that simple. Why complicate this? Like, why? Don't take my word for it. I could be totally wrong. Don't take my word for it. I'm probably not right. I'm definitely right. Probably not, though, right? I mean, you're definitely right. You're definitely right. I'm definitely wrong. You think I'm an idiot for not knowing what mono means. Like, oh, he doesn't know what mono red means. Oh, that's hilarious. We're adding 3 colors to the card and he thinks it's still mono yellow? Wow. Holy shit. Holy shit. Well, newsflash, bro. It possibly is mono yellow. If you're reading this the way that it's printed on the screen and you turn your Japanese brain on and you stop adding stupid English words to it, you understand that it's just looking at the color of the card face, whatever zone it happens to be in. Right here. Monocolor cards only have the specified color. Specified color. What's on the card? Oh, it's specified by Vegito. By Vegito specified it. He specified it. Oh, did he? Oh, did he? Did he specify red, blue, and green as granted colors? Or did he say, I'm adding mono blue to your card, and I'm adding mono red to your card, and I'm adding mono green to your card? Is he saying that? No, he's not. So stop adding words to the rule, because that's not going to fly. It hasn't flown yet. It's never going to fly. Unless, of course, it's Black Frieza, because in that case, it simply says, play them, and you don't play them. Your opponent plays them. So you're adding words like that don't exist. Right? Right. But maybe that card's been errated, so maybe I should stop being tilted by it. But I don't know. We'll check erratas on Black Frieza in just a minute. But look at that. Look at that rule. It has 2 interpretations. And these are the 2 interpretations that you need to make when you actually sit down and try to actually judge the scenario in this particular game with this card interaction. What's going on? Look at that rule. Use all the words in that sentence and no other additional words. And you'll have your answer. It's there. Now, still, possibly, you could get confused and have the second meaning. But when you're developing the second meaning in your little English brain, you're adding words. Like battle card, for example. Doesn't say battle card. You're adding words like, oh, well, I'm just going to throw the word mono hyphen on my Vegito leader card suddenly out of nowhere. Even though it never says mono on the Vegito leader card. Like, I'm just going to throw that on there. So this rule will apply, right? Oh, and now that this rule applies, it's no longer mono. It's no longer a mono black Goku. Now that because it says right here, bro, listen, it says right here, monocolor cards only have the one color, right? Whatever color they happen to be, and no other colors. So if you said only, right? Like and no others, right? So if I say Vegito add 3 colors, well now I mean it doesn't only have the specified color, right, bro? Yeah. So and now it doesn't have any other colors. So whoa, I just broke the game. Holy shit, I just broke the game, bro. You didn't. It's talking about the monocolor of the card as it came out of the pack. That's it. It only has the specified color as it had when it came out of the pack, and it has no other colors. So whenever you're looking at another card and you're trying to make a play, you're trying to do some sort of interaction, it says right here, it has no others in addition to, quote me on this, the colors in the bottom right corner of the card as it came out of the pack. End quote. Because that is what Bandai is going to tell you when you ask them the same question. What do they mean by this rule? This rule is actually specific enough in Japanese, but in English, it has 2 different meanings. And that is the huge problem that I think nobody really gets. I mean, putting it in red is not solving the problem. You have to add other words to this for English speakers to actually rule out, like this word right here, shouldn't be there. Have? Okay, what does it have? Does it have a yellow dot in the corner, so it's a yellow card? Or does it have a Vegito effect, so it's a red card? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it happens, the card in the game happens to have this skill from my Vegito leader. It has it. It has the red and the blue and the green skill. So now it has the red color, and it has the blue color, and it has the green. Oh, well, those are all colors, monocolors in and of themselves. So now it's mono red, mono blue, and mono green all at the same time. Oh, but this rule says it's not. Dude, you're adding words. It's never all of those at the same time. It's always whatever it was when it came out of the pack. If you think of it that way, you never break the game here, ever. Because that's what they meant, bro. I'm telling you. Ask them. Ask them. I could be wrong, but I'm probably right. You know what I mean? Like, could be. Could be. Ask them. Ask them the question. Why did they use the word have here? What do they mean? What has what? What has what? The card has a specific color. The specified color that was originally on the card. That's what it has. Monocolor card has whatever color it was specified on the card. Simple English sentence, guys. And it has no others. It has no others, which means that you can't add monocolors to the card. Period. Like you can't just be like, oh, now it's mono red. Oh, now that one over there, that's mono green. That other part of the play set. Well, I have Vegito out, so they're all colors, right? Now that one's mono blue. I'm gonna pop off now with my Goku. No, bro, that doesn't work. It's cheating. It's cheating. It's bending the rules, and that's not what the rule says at all. Period. You can't decide what the monocolor of the card is. Bandai decides when they print it. Don't quote me on this, but I'm probably right. Probably right when I say that. You know what I mean? Ask them. Ask them that question. What did you mean by this sentence? They're going to give you the same answer. Now, how do I know that? How am I so certain that it's not what you guys all think? Where you look at this as the in-game battle card that you randomly gave 3 colors to with your Vegito leader. And now that you've done that, you've suddenly, now all this other stuff happens. Okay? We're gonna look at one last thing here that will kind of shed a little bit more light on why I feel like everyone who has that thought in their head is wrong. I haven't asked Bandai, like I said, a million times now. Ask them yourself, and you'll see. You'll see what I'm talking about, okay? Look at this Q&A one more time. One more time. Give me the benefit of the doubt that it's a possibility. It's just a possibility that I might be onto something when I look at this rule and I tell you that I'm not adding any additional words to it, and I think they meant the color of the card as it came out of the pack. It's a possibility that that's what they meant, right? You could see kind of how that's possible, and you wouldn't really know for sure until you asked them. So keep that possibility in your head for just a moment, and ask yourself, well, that's kind of dumb that you just kind of came out of nowhere, and you're saying, oh, well, your mono yellow card is also red, blue, and green. Well, it can't because 2413 says it can't. Where does it say? Where does it say? Where does it say specifically that my mono yellow card that is in my drop area is not, it's also a red, blue, and a green card, but not a mono, you know what I mean? Like, where does it say in this rule? It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that unless you make it say that. The only time that it's telling you that your mono yellow, it can't be a monocolor anymore, the only time that this rule is telling you that your mono yellow Goku can't be mono anymore is when you add words to it to twist it into actually saying that it's a mono red, a mono blue, and a mono green, as well as being a mono yellow, but it can't be. When you say all that, you're suddenly wrong. You're adding words to the rule at that point. You might not know that you're doing that, but you actually are doing that. Again, understand it was a Japanese rule book. They have a different way of speaking than we do, and their rule book's going to be very specific here, which is why they're not really changing this. They think it makes perfect sense, and they're tired of you guys asking, so they make it red. They don't change the words, they make it red. So it stands out more. So you get it, but you don't still get it because you're still adding words to it. You can't add any more words to it than what's highlighted. That's the rule. This is the rule. That's it. No additional words can be added. You have to make the most sense out of that rule the way it's written, without adding any additional words to it. Period. That's the only way you can play this game. When you get to the point where everyone is questioning a rule in particular, it's likely a translation error, and it's likely the best course of action is to just read the words in the rule and don't ever add any extra words. And if you do that here, look what happens. When you read the Q&A from Bandai, they're asking about multicolors. Is Vegito giving my cards multicolor effects? Like, do they suddenly count as multicolor cards for card effects? That's a genuinely good question. But the answer is astounding, and you still don't see it yet. If you're still arguing with me in your head, wondering when I'm going to get to the point, you haven't seen it yet. Read the answer. Read the answer, dude. They're not just telling you the answer to that other question. They're also telling you the answer to any related question regarding the color of a card as it comes out of a pack. In this case, a multicolor card must be printed with at least 2 colors. They only care about the colors on the card. That's all they care about. Whenever they use the word multicolor, you need to think colors on the card. That's it. You don't need to think about in-game effects. It says card. It doesn't say battle card. It doesn't say battle card at all. Just like everything else, just generically says card, meaning they're referring to the actual paper in your hand. Bro, they don't care about what's on the stack or anything. They just refer to the card as it's printed. All right? If it's printed with the 2 colors, you look at that set symbol, and if you see the multiple colors on the set symbol, it's a hybrid card. It's multicolor. Period. End of sentence. That's what multicolor means. Look at their website when they first introduced multicolor cards. They were going on and on about how they're 2 different colors. Multicolor. And they might add a 3rd or whatever in the future, but that's not even the point. The point is you're using Vegito's old school effect in a new school setting, and you're adding words to the rules to bend it to your whim, and that's not how this game is played. That's cheating. So if you actually think that when you ask Bandai the same question, when you ask the same exact question, but replace multicolor with monocolor, what do you think their answer is going to be? What do you think Bandai is going to say when you ask the question, if I give red, blue, and green to my mono yellow Goku with my Vegito effect, well, now is it suddenly mono red, mono blue, mono green, and mono yellow at the same time? They're going to say printed. What was it printed? A monocolor card must be printed with 1 color. That's what they're going to say. When you ask them the question about that rule, about 2413, when you ask them for the umpteenth millionth time, what do you mean when you say, oh, the card has 1 color and no others? They're going to say what's printed on the card, 1 color. That's what their answer is going to be. When you sit down with them and you say, what do you mean right here? They're going to say card, color, printed, look, eyes, go, buy. And you're done. And like that's how we're going to do it. All right? So 99% sure that's their answer, but I'm not Bandai, okay? I just looked into this a lot, and I've seen previous things in the past. They're not going to change their answer. It's going to be the same answer. It's going to say printed in their answer. They're going to direct your eyeballs off of the game and onto the paper on the card, and look at the colors and see what they are. And if it's yellow, bro, it's a mono yellow card. Just because you're adding other colors to it, that doesn't change it. That's what they're going to tell you, which is exactly why they said no here. Think about why they said no here, dude. Your English brain is thinking, oh, well, I'm adding colors, so now it's multicolor. Exactly. That's exactly what your English brain is thinking right now. I know it is. So you're thinking that. You ask the question, and they say no. You still don't get it? You still don't get you still don't see the translation issue. You don't. Like, it's there, dude. It's there. When they're saying no, when they're answering your question, they're not even considering the way you're looking at it. They're just saying, no, card, look, paper, colors, look, go, buy. That's what they're going to say. At least 2 colors printed on card, go, buy, multicolor. 1 color on the card, monocolor, go, buy. That's what they're going to tell you. They don't understand that you don't get that we're not talking about in-game effects. They don't even understand that. That has not even come to their attention, which is why the rules manual was updated the way it was, and this wasn't specified, which is why Vegito hasn't seen an errata. And honestly, this question's never come up outside of the English language. It hasn't. This is an English problem. This is an English problem where players of the English language are simply and foolishly adding extra words to the rules to change the rules, and that's not how it works. Again, that's probably why the rules manual is highlighted in red here, because they're tired of you asking the same question. Like, do you get it yet or not, right? And clearly you don't. So here I am giving you the 2 potential ways that this could be looked at. And to make it a little bit easier, I've actually taken the liberty of printing a, what do you call it? Picture, yes, of a thing, yes. Once we get there, I think I'm going to have to go back a few times, though. All right. So I'm going to leave you with this right here. Right here. I put this together. I was at work. I answered this briefly before I went back to work. I had to work 2 shifts today. So I'll come home from work. I play around here, get some questions from people, and I do my best to answer it. And then I go back to work. And then I think about it all day. And I think about it all day. And then I'm like, how do I explain graphically what's going on? Like the way that I see it. The way that I feel like Bandai will tell them it's actually played. Well, this is how I feel. And then I'm like, well, hold up a second, because a lot of people think it's played slightly different. So let me actually include both graphs. So I have in front of you 2 different graphs. The first graph at the top is the one that I believe is correct. The graph at the bottom is the one that I think everyone else might think is correct, something like that. But notice how I have check marks. These are card attributes. So when I say yellow Goku, I'm talking about a yellow Goku card. And those checkmark boxes are all the attributes that that card will always have, or currently has, or whatever, right? However you want to view it. What attributes are on that card? It's a yellow Goku, it's mono yellow, right? That makes sense, okay? Is it a yellow and a blue Goku? Well, then multicolor would be checked, correct? Yes, it would. So this is a yellow Goku. Look at the top. Yellow Goku. Monocolor is the only box that's ticked. No notes on the card. No multicolor checked. Then Vegito shenanigans. Then after Vegito shenanigans, now yellow card again. Yellow Goku card again. What changed? What changed on this card? Oh, well, I don't agree with that. Well, wait, we'll get there, dude, because I'm going to go over all the different things that could possibly be happening here. So, if you don't agree with this, fine. But I think this is what Bandai means on the top. On the bottom, I think that's what you think Bandai means. And I think that that might be right, but it's probably wrong. So let's read the notes, because that's what really changes here. The card attributes are not really all changed as far as those checkboxes are concerned. There might be, we could mentally imagine like other checkboxes on the card probably, but I'm just going to throw all that in a notes section to kind of show you my point a little bit more, to kind of hammer home my point a little bit more. If you were to throw this card into a computer, you'd have to put some attributes on it, right? And one of them might be mono yellow if it's a yellow card, so you'll tick that box. And then maybe if some stuff happens, you got a notes section, you add objects to the card as the game's played or whatever. So that's how I'm going to present it to you, as if I were building it in a computer game, because I'm a software engineer. That's what I do, right? So as you can see, the yellow Goku card is still a mono yellow Goku card. In this case, might not be how you think it's right, but in this case, it still has the same yellow color on the card face, okay? And no additional colors, because that's what the rule says. Verbatim, actually. And then in the notes section, I added the Vegito effect, and I say yellow Goku is now a red, blue, and green Saiyan in all areas, it is still mono yellow. Wait for it. Vegito adds colors. Vegito does not change colors. Vegito does not make monocolor cards multicolor. See Rule 2-4-1-2-1-1, where it says specify. Actually, at the first 3 words of that rule, it will tell you that, oh, it's not unless otherwise specified. We're not doing that here, okay? Vegito doesn't say anything like that. He's just granting 3 additional colors, bro. He's not doing anything else. Don't give him more words on his card face than he deserves. Right. That's what I think is going on, personally. And I feel like if you asked Bandai, that's the answer they're going to give you, personally. Because I feel like that's what they meant, right? Now on the bottom side, this is what you guys are trying to convince me is going on. And I kind of am inclined to possibly believe that, but having dealt with Bandai for as long as I have, I just feel like I'm right on the top side here. So this bottom side, all we're really doing is unticking the mono yellow box. All we're really doing to change this is unticking that mono yellow box. Now let's read the notes. Yellow Goku's now a red, blue, and green Saiyan in all areas. It's exactly the same. It is no longer mono yellow. That's different. Vegito adds colors. Vegito does not change colors. Vegito does not make monocolor cards multicolor. See Rule 2-4-1-2-1-1, where it says specify. Same exact notes, except for now it is no longer mono yellow. Now you're like, he's got it. He finally has it. He's got it. That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say. That's why this is so broken. No, bro. You're like 1% likely that that's the case. I'm telling you. But you could be right. You could be right 1% of the time in this case. You saying that it's no longer mono yellow is the equivalent of you saying, and you're not gonna guess what I'm gonna say next, because you're not gonna be able to finish the sentence. The equivalent of it is no longer mono yellow is basically you saying that I'm adding an effect to the game. I'm basically saying I'm taking away mono yellow. Yeah, you didn't see that, did you? You didn't see that at all, did you? You're telling me by agreeing that this bottom half is correct, you're saying that somehow, some way, you're able to suddenly take that attribute off that card. You're telling me you're taking the attribute off the card. You're unchecking that mono yellow box. How are you allowed to do that? What in-game effect is giving you the privilege to take away the mono yellow checkbox in this case? There is none. So again, the way I presented this should be very transparent. This is probably the way the Japanese developers are going to kind of rationalize this when they answer your question, which is why they're going to give you the top answer. You don't have an in-game effect that's unticking that box. There's nothing printed on any card anywhere that's unticking that mono yellow box. Just because you're adding red, blue, and green to a mono yellow card is not unticking mono yellow. Just because you think that it says at the end here, and no others, that suddenly means that that mono yellow is no longer mono yellow. You're adding words again. You're adding words. Like I said, you're adding words to the card. Vegito's only going to give you a red. It's adding a red color, a blue color, and a green color. It's not adding mono anything. It's not adding mono anything. It's not. It doesn't say mono anything on Vegito. So you can't apply this rule to that. You can't just apply this rule to that and suddenly uncheck that box. You don't have the right to do that. That's cheating. That's not the way the game's played. Not the way the game's played. And if it is, well, somebody's weird as shit, all right? And I'm telling you, 99% sure you're wrong when you uncheck that mono yellow box in that case. 99% sure you are wrong. 1% sure you are right. 100% sure. 100, big fat 100% sure that it's one of these two that is going on. Nothing else. Nothing else. Read the fucking card as they say. Don't add any additional words to it and you have your answer. Always. You will always have your answer. So that about wraps up what's going on here, with a lot of confusion, with a lot of different cards, a lot of different translation issues, and people just reading it the wrong way or adding words to it senselessly. And look at this. Vegito doesn't say mono anything. What are you doing? What are you actually doing with all of that? Like, what? No. Anyways, thanks for watching this. Leave some questions if you have them. I'd be happy to answer. Ask these questions to Bandai yourself. Get an answer from Bandai directly, right? But I'm telling you, you're wasting their time. This is what they're going to tell you. They're going to copy and paste that answer right there. Right there. Oops. Right there. Printed on the card. Monocolor card must be printed with one color. It'll say with only one color. That's what's going to say. That's their answer. A monocolor card must be printed with only one color. So they only care about the color printed on the card. Just like the multicolor case. You can't split hairs here, dude. They answered the question in multicolor case. Monocolor is the equivalent of that. It's yin and yang. It's either a monocolor or a multicolor in this game, correct? Yes. You want to argue that that's incorrect? Ask Bandai. Ask Bandai that question. And they're going to say, no, it's mono or multi. Those are your two choices. It can't be neither. And then you're going to be like, blah, 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 blah. Well, you didn't watch this video at that point. If you still say blah, 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 you didn't watch this video, right? Because it's either mono or multi. It's not neither. It can't be neither. Ask a Japanese person with their Japanese brain, and they're going to tell you it's got to be one or the other, period. End of sentence. But don't take my word for it. Ask Bandai. Can't promise that I'm right. I probably am. Thanks for watching.